Recording. Okay, okie dokie. Where were we? We've touched on all the components. Is that okay? I'm not expecting much from you. I want you to just understand everything I talk about. Are you okay? Just a bit of it. All right. We haven't talked about a certain topic. It's called metadata. Very important. Metadata. Is that okay? Naturally, that should be the next topic. If it's not, then it means something isn't right. Okay, so metadata. What is metadata? Metadata is data about data. Are you okay? Data about data. If you want to say it like in your own words, are you okay? Data about what? Data. That's metadata. But the idea of metadata is that I want to get data about the data so that I could decide what I want to use the data for. I give you data and I'll attach to it another data that tells you who created the date of publication, the data type, are you okay? All the attributes, are you okay? In data, are you okay? Then I also tell you maybe the purpose of the data. Sometimes people create data, the data is only for school, for tutorials in school. That means you can't go and use it for Ghana projects. There's a project, you go and pick that same school data your lecturer gives you, and now you are using it. Are you okay? So that's the purpose. Are you okay? Purpose for which I want to use the data. So metadata or data about data is intended, so someone can snap this on the page for me, right? And then give it back to me, please. You can do it right now. Don't act me forget. Metadata has many parts of it. So if you have metadata, there are certain parts. There's the data quality information. Is that okay? It contains a lineage. What is lineage? Lineage. What is lineage? Where something is coming from. Are you okay? Lineage. All right. So this company took it, they worked on it, they gave it to this company, they also did it to it. Are you with me? So you're trying to know this company did the survey, but then this company did the process. You get that? That's like lineage. Data quality information is also about logical consistency. Is that okay? Completeness of the data. Logical consistency means that it should make sense. Are you okay? Someone collects data on speed limits for roads. Are you okay? Then you realize that one of the values is 1,200. Are you okay? Speed what? Limit. So which is it, this world or outside the world? Are you with me? What's the speed limit? 180. Okay, like what's a speed limit we see on our roads here? Like averagely you see what? 50 miles per hour, isn't it? We use a kilometer, isn't it? When we use a kilometer, do we get more or less? We will get more. So like 1 mile will be like more kilometers in there, isn't it? Great. So what I'm saying is that if someone is driving at 40 miles per hour, in kilometers, would we having more, right? Yeah, that's the point I'm making. Yeah. So the dial, there are two dials. There's a mile and there's a kilometer. So when you're in Ghana, you should be reading the one that has the more value, the higher values. Are we on the same page? All right. What are the normal speed limits that we see around? 60. Are you okay? Now the 60, don't go and read the mile. You should be reading the kilometer. All right. So if I give you data on speed limits, a lot of roads with their speed limits for the whole of Greater Accra region. All right. And you see 1,002. It doesn't make sense. Are you okay? So there's no logical consistency. Completeness of data. If someone gives you data, they should tell you exactly where you can have it and where you cannot have it. Are you okay? So it doesn't cover a particular area, we should know, right? Like the extent, isn't it? The extent of the data. All right. We should be able to cite information concerning the data. Okay. If I collected the spread of trees as a data set, you know, we don't have a lot of data sets. That's why when you're teaching a class, like people can relate easily. Also, there's a lot of data set on a lot of things. All right. We don't collect anything. The roads cry, Google is the one mapping them. You get what I'm saying? So when you're teaching something like this, people think, what are you talking about? Are you okay? But please try and understand me, okay? Think like you are in New York, is that okay? Okay, so we should be able to cite that the spread of the tree, which is like the extent of the canopy, all right, how it goes in there, is that information is coming from certain department, cited that according to this publication, this is the maximum spread for mango tree. Are you okay? For your project, you get what I'm saying? Not that you are the one who is just putting it there. So as part of your metadata, you're able to keep such data. Are you okay? And that is also put under the identification information. Is that okay? Then you can have what we call the entity and attributes information. Okay. So there too, you need to, the entity itself is the object. The attribute is information about the object. Okay. All right. So the range of known or permitted values, okay, I'll talk about that. And then the source of definition of the attributes. Source of definition of the attributes. Well, an example of source of attributes, definition of an attribute about you will be what? About a human being will be what? If I wanted to cite the source of information or definition of an attribute about you, so how would you cite such information? That's a good one. Is that okay? That's good. That's correct. And your name is an attribute. Is that okay? But it's so common that people don't try to figure out how do you. Are you right? But what is difficult? The distance between your two eyes is called your eye base. Is that okay? So per a certain what definition, eye base should be measured from maybe the center of your eye. Are you with me? You get it? Sometimes police arrest you for overspeeding and then you challenge them, isn't it? So I don't think your gun is working, right? Until it's working. Okay. You get a whole idea. When you measure something, you're able to tell us who actually define what you are measuring. So the definition to the attributes. Anything that you measure. If you measure soil acidity, you're able to associate it with a particular citation that according to this particular measure. There are different measures. I've been to medical laboratories where they'll tell you that. In fact, I knew someone who worked in medical laboratories, and they told me that the instrument used for measuring whether you have malaria could be different from laboratory to. You get it? Have you heard it before? Yeah, but that is what is happening. So that you, in one instance, they'll tell you you don't have malaria, but other things tell you have it. Okay. So when they say we have found this issue by a certain definition, okay, I think I'm just explaining it. Is that okay? But basically, when I give you data, I should add what we call metadata to describe the data. That's what we are saying. And it should include what? Who actually created the data, isn't it? It should include the different aspects, attributes of the objects themselves that are being. Don't forget we are talking about GIS here. Is that okay? So that is why we talk about the entities. Instead of saying objects, we are saying entities. Is that okay? And another word in geography is features. They all mean the same thing. An object, an entity, a feature. They mean the same thing. All right. So someone who doesn't do any geography will say an object. Someone do geography say a feature. Now representing it in GIS. Are you okay? And then we can also talk about entities. Is that okay? All right. Right. Let's talk about topology. It's a concept in GIS. Topology. Unless you have a question. Do you have a question? Do you have a question? Are you happy? I'm over explaining it. Is that okay? So try to keep it simple. I'm just talking a lot. I told you I talk a lot. That's why we are closing at 3 o'clock. Is that okay? Because when I talk like 30 minutes, it's like another lecture speaking like 2 hours. So we finish at 3. Is that okay? Someone is very happy. They have. Were you here last week? Your name? Christopher. Were you here last week? And you said we should close at 3. We'll close at 4. I was joking about it. No, we finished it. All right. Richard, close at 3. Is that okay? We can all go and have fun. Is that all right? Now just make sure you understand what I'm saying. Okay? Can you figure out what metadata is? If I give you a Word document, what would be metadata? Now I'm testing you. If I give you a Word document, what would be metadata? In the concept of Microsoft Word, what is metadata? Let me see if you've understood. I'm not getting it. Okay. I gave you. So you see, the metadata concept is saying that someone is giving you data and is added metadata to it. So anytime you find data, there will be something sitting by it called metadata that describes it. So if I give you a Word document that contains the data, isn't it? So to just create a notepad and add it to it and tell me what I'll find in it, because it contains 20,000 pages or maybe, I don't know, 5,000 pages. Are you okay? And you don't have time. So literally, but is it necessary? Let me see if you really understand some of these things. Is it necessary to create a metadata, to create a notepad and add it to a Word document? Yes, sir. Online people, are you there? You are saying yes. So
yes, please.
Okay, so online, Christopher.
Yes, sir.
Is it necessary to add a metadata file to Microsoft Word? And
yes,
why?
please.
Is it necessary?
Yes, it is necessary.
It is not necessary, Christopher. You don't understand what I've been talking about. It is not. Richard, why is it not necessary? Because you have the table of contents, which seems to tell you everything about the 5,000 pages. Hello, people. Are you with me? This is a lecture. You said abstract. Did you say abstract? But you said abstract. You see that was before I asked this question. So it's like the question was, should you add it? Okay. Or isn't it? So in the context of Microsoft Word, and then you said it's abstract. Okay. How come I didn't hear that word? Okay, but it's okay. It's okay. Ike, you've been vindicated. It's okay. You see, I finished talking about metadata, so I just asked you a question. Is that okay? Please, have you understood it a little bit more? What is? So in GIS, you'll be given something called shapefile. When you put it into the computer, it will start showing the rivers and buildings. Are you okay? But then the metadata will be sitting there talking about these things. Are you okay? So we are also a file, okay? But it will tell you more about who created it. Which is good, isn't it? So that you can know what to do with it. All right. Topology. What's topology? Topology refers to the spatial relationship between geographic features. Is that okay? What is a geographic feature? Example, I forgot your name. Dan, give me an example of a geographic feature. Don't repeat my question. Because Ghanaians answer questions with questions. So someone came to Ghana to do research. Why Ghanaians answer questions with questions? When he got to the airport, then he asked them, I hear in Ghana you answer questions with questions. Is that so? The person said, who told you? Who told you? Are you okay? That's funny, isn't it? That's a good one. All right. So yes, I'm not gonna let Daniel, because he's answered my question with a question. I'm not gonna let you continue. Is that okay? The power vested in me. Is that okay? Yeah. So your name, I think. Anthony. Do your friends call it Tony? Some call it that. You like it? Okay, Tony. Go for it. What's an example of a geographic feature? Yeah. In Ghana, when we say yeah, do you know what it means? Okay. Yo, man. No, man. Okay, your name is there.
Online, you called my name last week.
Hey, and it was fine and perfect. Oh, look at me, shame on me. It's true. So I just call you the short form of yours. Do. Okay. And we are suffering like this. Okay, do. Give me an example of a geographic feature. Remember, if you want to teach, I think you don't, like I said, you may enjoy me talking, but you are not learning anything. So be careful. Is that okay?